Alright, today on the Capri we are going to be making our own subframe connectors. In a previous video I cut out the old ones. I wasn't looking forward to it, but it turned out not to be that bad. I went out and purchased two pieces of 1x2 by 1/8 rectangular tubing. Pretty cheap. You probably have your own metal store around you. I went to Metal Supermarket. Cut them around 65 inches. Your length may vary due to how far you want to go on the subframe connector. I'm going pretty close to full length of welding everything I can. You might not want to go past the transmission cross member. That's up to you. I plan to, after seeing some pictures of these cars in accidents where the front end has completely come off from the rear. Not saying this is going to protect it, but it'll make me worry a little bit less. And due to the fact it does stiffen up the chassis as we're going a full coyote swap, and this thing's going to see some abuse. So, back to the point. I'm going to show you how to make these. I did this with a pipe bender. Really easy. Minimal deflection of the tube, or kinking of the tube I should say, and I'll show you how I did it. Alright, we'll come back in now. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the El Cheapo pipe bender. We're going to use sorry, the 2-inch die here. I'll pull this out. It rides right in the groove, and that makes it a lot easier to center it, and it also causes the square tube to not deflect as much. As if you use a smaller one, it kinks the tube pretty badly because it rides on one of the weaker parts. But now that we're on the outer legs, it smoothens it up. So we've got our piece laid out. It's 25 3/8 from the back to your bend point, and then on the other bend that brings it back to almost parallel with the other one is 32 inches. Something you want to keep in mind is keep this weld seam on the top, due to the fact that if you paint your car, you always kind of see this little the welded seam, so it's a good idea to do it. So make sure we don't fuck it up and do it the other way around. So our first bend will be on the seam. No, opposite of the seam. So yeah, then we just literally center it on the die and then just crank the shit out of it. I'm hoping the camera angle's alright, but no guarantees. Now, this is going to be a lot easier for me due to the fact that I've already made the first one, so I can just double check and lay it beside it. Scary, Brennan. Oh, the problem is roll pressure. There we go. Now we're in the bend zone. Making subframe connectors. I think I went too far, but yeah. But again, it's not the end of the world. You can literally just bend your back. Good. No, it's still a little too much. You want to flip the record over? If you wouldn't mind. Now we will kick this one over.
Well, shit. What's up? I don't remember what I was doing.
Yeah. Cleaning up the engine bay on your old one?
Nah, no. Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Yeah, or the new one. And then maybe spraying some paint on it.
Scrap everything. That's right.
Yeah, not a bad idea. So that's it. That's our subframe connectors. Super easy to do. And all you need is a shitty hydraulic, I don't know if they make a manual pipe bender, but I'm sure you could use it with enough leverage. And a die that's way too big, and just 2 pins. And now we'll show it just held up on the car. Now. Alright, now we're under the car. You can see all the grind marks from the old ones. But it's kind of hard to hold with one hand and hold the camera, but you can see I fucked that up, eh? Got the seam on the bottom. I get a little confused, I guess, while making the video. So, there we go. It's tight on that side. You can see how it kicks up. And how you don't want it to directly parallel those 2 legs. This one's kicked down a slightly bit more. And, we're flush. So, hopefully that helped you guys out. I know it's pretty easy to make, so hopefully you can make it yourself. Alright, peace. Alright, so here we're back at the subframe connectors. Continued on a little farther. I welded up the ends there. And then something I do, and I don't think most of the other kits out there do, is that they actually don't drill any of these holes. And I'll show you why I drill these holes. Let's go under the car. This is the lowest point of your rear frame. For your front, this is one of the low points right around here. There, and there. I just drill for those 2. But they cover them, and once you're welding in here, you're burning all the paint on the inside, and then you're capping off the drain. So what's going to happen is, if this car sees rain, is it's just going to fill up with water, and you're going to fill your whole frame up, and then you're going to have issues. It should leak out in between, but then you're having this perfect rust zone of water moisture buildup that never dries, and on freshly ground paint, and you're just asking for a disaster later on. And I don't know, I haven't seen any long-term effects on how I do it, but for me the principle's pretty sound. And back to making them, you grab yourself some 1.5 inch, or you could probably get away with 1.25 inch angle by 1/8, and then you're going to want to drill 2 holes, about 1/2 inch, a little bit under. I can't remember what the metric size is for this, but this is for the studs under the seat. It's about 10 5/8 center to center. Measure before you go on my measurements, that's for sure. And then you notch it here, and
just basically line it up with the frames, and then you obviously notch the corners, because a top tip, if you're ever going to work on this, you don't want to be banging your head on sharp corners. So yeah, I will tack this into place, and then we will get to how to weld it up and